Here we're going to talk about the notion that understanding something alone is not enough. Now, I believe one of the biggest misperceptions in the world of personal development, so therapy, coaching, or any other type of approach, is that just because you understand a problem, it doesn't mean you automatically have the resources necessary to resolve the problem. And it's just not the case. Understanding alone is not enough. So, first of all, I just want to take you through a typical example. So, we'll go through the story of a woman. Let's call her Susie, for example. Susie is in her late 40s and has been struggling with emotional challenges for many years. But being aware of this, Susie has had the courage to invest in herself, and she's worked through multiple courses of therapy and personal development courses. Susie understands that because of the way her mother tended to be cold and distant towards her when she was little, that she didn't develop a secure attachment to her caregiver, and therefore as she grew up she became more anxious. She lacked confidence and she would tend to suppress how she was feeling rather than express her needs and wants openly. Susie understands that because of that pattern in her early childhood, it has also contributed to how, when she is in a relationship as an adult, she can become triggered when her partner shows some aspects of being cold or distant. She also understands that as she learned that particular pattern when she was growing up, she also tends to attract people with those qualities into her life, and she therefore tends to accept less than she really deserves. Susie has talked through in great detail the most challenging aspects of her childhood, the difficulties in her family dynamics, and has discussed each of these painful moments in depth, gaining greater understanding of why her mum might have behaved in such ways and why she would have reacted in such ways. Susie understands that her anxiety symptoms, that primarily manifest in terms of a racing heart rate, sweaty hands, racing thoughts, and a feeling of pressure on her chest, all stem from her autonomic nervous system triggering the fight or flight response as it reacts to a perceived threat. And she understands that her system is reacting to a threat that isn't really there in terms of the situation she's in, and she logically knows that the situation isn't actually dangerous to her. Susie understands, following cognitive behavioral therapy and different types of talking therapy, that her thoughts can drive her emotions, which create feelings and sensations, which then lead to certain behaviors. Here is the key question. Despite all this understanding, does Susie still have her problem? And the answer is a resounding yes. She understands what creates her symptoms, but that does not stop her symptoms from happening. She understands the narrative of her family dynamics, but that does not resolve the triggers. She understands how her partner is only reflecting aspects of her childhood that she struggled with, but that does not stop her immediate emotional reactions. And she understands that her thoughts drive her emotions and sensations, but that does not slow the thoughts down. Despite all her understanding, the understanding doesn't resolve the issue. And although the challenging process of going through multiple rounds of therapy has helped in many different ways, so from feeling more confident to being much more aware and to understanding her and her past much more, Susie still has her problem. And this is because understanding a problem does not give you the resources to resolve the problem. More than understanding is needed. But more understanding is not the answer. So this is a real foundational issue that causes many people to get stuck because they're continually searching for more understanding, which isn't actually what they need.